So the last point on here is to do with how to maximize the value of your premises. So very, very important that prior to selling the surgery, you look at ways in which you can maximize the value of the premises. But in all honesty, everybody could do with it, would do with it, do with maximizing the value of their premises, regardless of whether you're wanting to sell the surgery or not. So the main way of doing that is getting your notional rent checked by an independent surveyor. So just making sure that every time you have a notional rent review, it is checked to make sure that the proposal is in line with the current market. Make sure you're not getting underfunded. So companies like ourselves or other surveying firms would come in and just check out all the details and make sure the proposal from the NHS is correct. Other things is your ensuring your lease agreements and rental amounts are up to date. So if you rent any space out to a pharmacy or a dentist or an alternative therapist, just making sure that those leases haven't expired, and if they have, looking at renewing the leases and just making sure that those that there's no outstanding rent reviews. Make sure the rent reviews are all up to date as well. And then you're looking at making the most of any spare space or non-reimbursable area. So if you do have any spare space, which I think everybody finds hilarious at the moment, but if you do manage to magic some spare space from somewhere, just making sure that that space is fully reimbursed for notional rent. If it isn't, then looking at trying to get an alternative therapist perhaps to rent the space out to increase that rental income. And then you're looking at upgrades and improvements. So, look at any upgrades and improvements that you can do to the surgery, which should increase the notional rent. And then equally extensions as well. Obviously, building an extension is going to increase your floor space. It's going to increase your notional rent. It's very, very important when you're making upgrades and improvements and looking at potentially extending the surgery that you do seek NHS approval for that. They aren't obligated to give you notional rent for any extensions. So it is at their discretion as to whether or not they do. So very, very important that you seek their approval